Elena was born with a face so beautiful that it was deadly. From the moment she entered the world, something strange happened. Everyone in the hospital who saw her died instantly. The doctors, nurses, even visitors who came too close, all of them fell lifeless to the ground. The only people who survived were her parents, who loved her deeply but feared the curse she carried. As Elena grew, her parents realized they had to protect her from the world, and the world from her. Her mother decided to homeschool her, keeping her away from everyone. Elena was smart, very smart. She learned everything quickly, reading books and solving math problems like a genius. But even though she was so intelligent, she was lonely. She didn't have friends, and she never played outside like other children. She could never let anyone see her face. When Elena turned 18, her parents decided it was time for her to attend university. They couldn't keep her hidden forever. But to protect others, she wrapped her face tightly with cloth, covering her beauty. Only her eyes peeked out from behind the layers of fabric. She was always careful not to let anyone see her true face. At the university, Elena became known for her brilliance. She aced every exam, finished every assignment before anyone else, and her professors praised her. But she didn't care about the praise. She just wanted to get through the day without hurting anyone. Despite her intelligence, some students didn't understand why she covered her face every day. Rumors spread quickly. Some said she was hiding scars, others thought she was just weird. One of the loudest voices came from Sophia, the school bully. Sophia was always showing off, thinking she was better than everyone else. She liked to pick on people, and Elena became her favorite target. One day, Sophia marched up to Elena in front of a group of students. "Hey, Elena," she sneered, folding her arms. "Why do you always cover your face? Are you hiding something ugly under there?" The other students giggled, waiting to see what Elena would do. Elena stood calmly, her eyes fixed on Sophia. She didn't say anything for a moment, then finally replied, "I bet you don't want to see my real face." Sophia laughed. "Oh, come on. If you're not ugly, prove it. Show everyone here what you look like." Elena shook her head, her voice steady. "Trust me, you don't want to see." But Sophia wouldn't stop. Every day, she would taunt Elena. "If you're not scared, take that cloth off your face," she would say, and the students would laugh behind her. Elena ignored them. She knew the danger. She didn't want anyone to die because of her. But no matter how hard she tried to stay focused on her studies, Sophia and her friends wouldn't leave her alone. One afternoon, while Elena was walking to class, Sophia blocked her path. "Today's the day," Sophia said, her eyes full of mischief. "You're going to show everyone. If you're not ugly, prove it." The crowd around them grew, curious about what would happen next. Elena looked at Sophia for a long moment, then said softly, "If I show you, it won't end well for you." Sophia smirked, rolling her eyes. "Sure, whatever you say. You're just too scared to show your face." Elena took a deep breath. She didn't want to hurt anyone, but she was tired of the constant teasing. She stepped closer to Sophia and said, "You think I'm hiding because I'm ugly? You're wrong. I'm hiding to protect you." The crowd fell silent. Sophia's smile faltered, but she didn't back down. "I don't need your protection. Take off the cloth, or admit that you're a coward." Elena's heart raced. She wanted to tell Sophia the truth, to explain that her face wasn't just beautiful, it was deadly. But she knew Sophia wouldn't believe her. So she turned away, refusing to give in to the bully's demands. As the days passed, Sophia kept mocking her. "You're just scared of being judged," she would shout. But Elena remained silent, focused on her studies. She didn't want to give Sophia the satisfaction of a reaction. Still, the other students started whispering more. "Why won't she show her face? Do you think there's something wrong with her? Maybe she's cursed." Liam was one of the most handsome boys in the university. Almost every girl liked him. He was confident, charming, and very popular. But Liam wasn't interested in settling down with anyone. He enjoyed all the attention he got. Sophia, who always had a mean plan up her sleeve, decided to use Liam to carry out her latest scheme. One day during lunch, she walked up to him, flipping her hair and smiling sweetly. "Liam," she said, sitting next to him, "I need you to do something for me." Liam raised an eyebrow. "What now, Sophia? Another one of your tricks?" Sophia grinned. "Oh, this one's really good. It's about that strange girl, Elena. You know, the one who always covers her face." Liam replied, "Yeah, I've seen her. What about her?" Sophia leaned closer, her voice full of excitement. "I want you to get close to her. Pretend to be her friend. Make her trust you. Then, when she falls asleep, give her something to make her sleep deeper. Take off her face cover and snap a picture of her real face. Send the photo to me, and I'll take care of the rest." Liam frowned. "Why do you care about her? She's not bothering anyone." Sophia rolled her eyes. She thinks she's better than everyone else, hiding her face like she's some big secret. I bet she's really ugly under that cover. I want to show everyone what she's hiding. Liam hesitated. He wasn't a fan of Sophia's mean games, and this plan felt wrong. But Sophia wasn't someone you could easily say no to. She had a way of pressuring people to do what she wanted. Liam knew what Sophia wanted him to do, and though he wasn't sure about it, he agreed. He figured it would be easy to befriend Elena. After all, she was quiet and didn't have many friends. He started by sitting near her during lectures, pretending to be interested in what the professor was saying. At first, Elena didn't pay much attention to him. She was used to people either ignoring her or mocking her from a distance. But Liam was different. He didn't tease her or laugh like the others. He always smiled at her, which made her suspicious. One day, Liam sat beside her in the library. "Hey," he said, his voice friendly. "You're Elena, right?" Elena looked up, her eyes peeking out from behind the cloth covering her face. "Yes," she said slowly. "Hope no problem." Liam leaned back in his chair, pretending to be casual. "I've seen you around. You seem interesting. I thought we could be friends." Elena frowned. Nobody ever wanted to be her friend. Most people avoided her, and those who didn't usually had something mean to say. "Why would you want to be friends with someone like me?" she asked. Liam laughed lightly. "Why not? You're smart, and you don't follow the crowd. That's cool." Elena didn't respond. She didn't trust him, but he didn't seem like the others. He wasn't laughing at her or trying to make her feel bad. Still, she didn't let her guard down. Over the next few days, Liam kept trying. He would sit next to her during class, walk with her after lectures, and bring her small snacks like a candy bar or a bottle of juice. Slowly, Elena began to warm up to him. She started talking to him about her favorite books and how much she loved science. For the first time, she felt like someone was listening to her. One evening, Liam told her they should study together in her room. "You're so smart, Elena," he said with a grin. "I could use your help with some of these assignments." Elena hesitated but agreed. She thought maybe, just maybe, she had finally found a friend. She even made tea for him when he arrived. Liam smiled as he took the cup, but in his pocket was a small packet of powder Sophia had given him. It was a sleeping drug. As Elena turned her back to grab a book, Liam quickly poured the powder into her cup. "Here," he said, handing her the tea. "You deserve a break." Elena smiled behind her cloth, taking a sip. They talked for a while, but soon her eyelids began to feel heavy. "I think I'm getting sleepy," she said, yawning. Liam nodded, pretending to be concerned. "You've been working so hard. Get some rest. I'll pack up and leave." Elena lay down on her bed, still holding on to the hope that she had found a true friend. Within minutes, she was fast asleep. Liam waited until he was sure she wouldn't wake up. His hands shook slightly as he walked to her bed. He felt guilty. Elena had been nothing but kind to him. But Sophia's voice echoed in his mind, "Take off her face cover and get a photo." Slowly, he reached out and began untying the cloth. With each knot he loosened, his heart raced. Finally, the cloth fell away, and he froze. Elena's face was revealed, and it was unlike anything he had ever seen. She wasn't ugly, far from it. Her beauty was unexplainable, almost magical. It wasn't just her looks, there was something about her face that drew him in, something too powerful for words. But before he could even think, a wave of darkness hit him. His chest tightened, his vision blurred, and his legs gave out. He gasped for air, but it was no use. The overwhelming force of her beauty was too much for him to handle. In seconds, Liam collapsed to the floor, lifeless. A few minutes later, Elena woke up, feeling groggy. She sat up and noticed her face covering lying on the floor. Her heart sank. She looked around and saw Liam lying on the ground, his eyes wide open and unblinking. "Liam," she whispered, crawling toward him. She shook his shoulder, but he didn't move. Panic filled her chest as she realized what had happened. He had seen her face, and now he was dead. Tears streamed down her face as she tied the cloth back over her head. "Why did you do this, Liam? Why didn't you listen?" she cried. The noise attracted attention from other students in the dorm. When someone opened her door and saw Liam's body, they screamed. Soon, security was called, and the police arrived shortly after. The officers found Elena sitting beside Liam's body, her face covered once again. "What happened here?" one of them asked, his voice stern. Elena's voice trembled as she replied, "He saw my face. That's all it takes. I didn't mean to hurt him. I warned everyone, but no one believes me." The police didn't know what to think. Some of them had heard stories about her condition but had dismissed them as rumors. After interviewing her parents and piecing together the events, they decided she wasn't a criminal. "This isn't murder," one of the officers said quietly to his colleague. She's not doing this on purpose. It's something else. Elena was released later that night. As her parents held her tightly, she whispered, "I don't want to hurt anyone else. Maybe I should just stay away from everyone forever." "Elena," her mother said, sitting next to her, "you can't run and hide from everyone forever. I know you're scared, but you have to keep going. You've worked so hard to get here, and you can't give up now." Elena looked down, feeling like everything was falling apart. "But, Mom, it's so hard. People stare at me, and they don't understand. What if they see my face, and something bad happens again?" Her mother took her hand gently. "I understand your fear, sweetheart. But you can't let that stop you. You need to finish school, for yourself. Don't let fear control your life. People may say things, they may stare, but that doesn't define who you are. You're strong, and you have so much to offer the world." Elena wiped away a tear. "What about Sophia? She always tries to make me feel small. She's been bullying me for so long. How do I deal with her?" Her mother smiled, brushing her hair back. "You have to mind your own business, Elena. People like Sophia will always try to bring others down, but you don't have to let her. Don't listen to what bullies say. Focus on your own path and keep your eyes on your goals. You are in control of your own story." Elena nodded slowly, thinking about her mother's words. It wasn't going to be easy, but she had to try. "I will try, Mom. I don't want to hide anymore." Her mother hugged her tightly. "That's my girl. You can do anything you set your mind to. I'm here for you every step of the way." The next day, Elena went to school feeling a little nervous but determined to face her fears. She had made up her mind to ignore the bullies and focus on her studies. As she walked through the halls, she tried to keep her head down and walk quickly to her first class. But when she entered the library, she saw Sophia sitting with a group of girls. Sophia immediately spotted her and stood up, walking toward Elena. Well, Sophia said, looking at Elena. "Here comes the ugly killer. Did your rich parents bribe the police to get you out? I'm sure that's the only reason they let you go free. You're just a monster hiding behind that cloth." Elena's heart pounded in her chest. She had been expecting this, but it still hurt. She tried to ignore Sophia and keep walking, but Sophia wasn't done. "You think you're special just because your parents have money, don't you?" Sophia continued. "You're lucky they're rich, otherwise, you'd be in jail right now for killing someone. You're a freak." Elena felt her anger building, but instead of running away, she stopped and turned to face Sophia. "At least I'm not like you," Elena said, her voice steady. "You've slept with almost every handsome boy in this school just to get attention. What's that make you, huh? You're the one who's a joke." Sophia's face turned red. "It's none of your business who I date. You think I care about your opinion? I love fine men wherever I see one. I will make sure I have him. You should be ashamed, hiding away from everyone like a coward." Elena stood tall, not backing down. "I'm not ashamed of who I am. You should be ashamed, though. Instead of focusing on your studies, you've been in this school forever and still haven't graduated. Maybe if you spent more time in class and less time trying to impress boys, you might actually finish school." Sophia was quiet for a moment, then scoffed. "You're just jealous because I'm popular, and you're a nobody." Elena shook her head. "I'm not jealous of you, Sophia. I'm focused on my future, something you should try doing for once." Sophia didn't have anything else to say, so she turned and walked back to her group of friends. Elena stood there for a moment, her heart racing. She had stood up for herself. She had spoken her truth, and it felt good. A week later, a very handsome boy named Daniel arrived at the school. As soon as he walked through the gates, every girl couldn't stop talking about how good-looking he was. His tall figure, confident smile, and friendly eyes made him stand out from the rest. Elena heard whispers about him as she walked down the hall. All the girls were in awe, and some were already daydreaming about him. When Sophia first saw him, her eyes lit up. She immediately knew she wanted him. She turned to her friends and said, "I must have him. He's perfect." Some of her friends nodded, agreeing with her, but a few others rolled their eyes. They were tired of Sophia's constant need for attention and her habit of chasing after any boy she thought was handsome. The next day, Sophia, with a determined look on her face, walked up to Daniel in the hallway. Her friends followed behind her, whispering excitedly. "Hey, Daniel," Sophia said, her voice sweet. "I've noticed you're new here. How about we become friends? I can show you around and help you get settled." Daniel didn't even look up at her. He kept walking, ignoring her completely. Sophia's smile faded, and her friends started to giggle. They couldn't believe it, Sophia had been rejected. Sophia stopped in her tracks, her face turning a little red with embarrassment. "He's just playing hard to get," she muttered. "Don't worry, I'll get him. This is how men behave at first." They act like they don't care, but deep down, they're interested. Her friends weren't so sure. They had seen this happen before. Sophia always thought she could get any guy she wanted, but sometimes it didn't work out the way she planned. I'm not giving up, Sophia continued, her voice more confident now. I know what I'm doing. And if he doesn't come to me, I'll make him. I'll use my money to get him. From the way he looks, I don't think he comes from a rich family, she said. I bet if I offer him the things he wants, he'll change his mind about me. Her friends gave her doubtful looks but didn't say anything. They knew Sophia's ways, and deep down, they wondered if she would succeed this time. Sophia wasn't one to give up easily, especially when she had her eyes set on something or someone. Soon, Daniel started to like Elena. He found her very friendly and smart. She was kind to everyone, and her intelligence amazed him. He loved talking to her during breaks, and soon they became close friends. Elena was always happy to help him with schoolwork, and Daniel appreciated how well she explained things. The more he got to know her, the more he admired her. But not everyone was happy about their growing friendship. Daniel's friends noticed that he was spending more time with Elena and less time with them. They didn't understand why he was so interested in her, especially since she was a bit of an outsider at school. They warned him to stay away from her, saying she wasn't the right type of person to be friends with. But Daniel didn't listen to them. He liked Elena, and that was all that mattered to him. Sophia soon found out that Daniel and Elena were spending a lot of time together. When she heard this, she was furious. She couldn't believe that Daniel, the handsome boy she had tried to win over, was now friends with the one person she hated most. Sophia's jealousy took over, and she stormed up to Elena. You think you're so clever, don't you? Sophia snapped, standing in front of Elena. You're a witch, using your tricks to steal my man away from me. Elena laughed loudly, shaking her head. Who's your man? She asked. Somebody who doesn't even know you exist? Keep dreaming, loser. She crossed her arms and looked at Sophia with anger in her eyes. For your information, Daniel and I are just friends. We are not dating, and we never will be. Sophia's face turned bright red with anger. Don't act like you're better than me, she hissed. You don't belong in this school. You're nothing but a freak who hides behind that cloth. Elena wasn't afraid. She stood tall and looked Sophia straight in the eye. I'm not here to play games or be in a relationship like you, she said calmly. I'm here to study, and that's what I will focus on. Unlike you, who spends all your time trying to impress boys and be popular. You're the dumbest girl I've ever met. Sophia's eyes widened with shock. She had never expected Elena to stand up to her like this. She was used to bullying people into submission, but now Elena was speaking out against her. You'll regret this, Sophia said. You think you're so perfect, but you're not. I'll make sure you regret messing with me. Elena didn't flinch. Go ahead, Sophia, she said with a shrug. I'm not afraid of you. You can't scare me. Sophia stared at her for a moment, realizing that Elena wasn't backing down. Her usual tactics of bullying and intimidation weren't working. Frustrated, she turned and stormed off, leaving Elena standing tall. When Elena got home that day, she felt a mix of emotions. She was proud of herself for standing up to Sophia, but a part of her still felt uncertain about the future. She went straight to her room and sat on her bed. Her mother was in the kitchen preparing dinner, and Elena knew it was the right time to talk to her. After a few moments, she walked into the kitchen and sat down at the table. Her mother looked up and smiled. How was school today, dear? Elena sighed and began to tell her about the day. Mom, graduation is coming soon, and I've been thinking a lot about it. I want to look nice that day, elegant, with nice makeup. And for once, I don't want to hide my face anymore. I'm tired of it. It's been so long, and I just want to feel normal, like everyone else. Her mother's smile faded a little as she listened. I understand how you feel, Elena. But we've talked about this before, haven't we? Elena nodded. Yes, I know. But I feel like I can't keep running away from it. I want to live a normal life. I don't want to hide anymore. Her mother gently reached out and took her hand. You remember what the prophet told us years ago, don't you? Elena felt a knot form in her stomach. She had always tried to push those words aside, but they always came back. Yes, Mom. The prophet said that the curse will only break when I find someone who truly loves me, someone who will love me for who I am, not because of anything else. But that means I have to wait for someone to fall in love with me first. And I can't make anyone love me. I can't force it. Elena's heart sank. But what if no one ever loves me? What if I'm always alone? She felt tears welling up in her eyes, but she tried to hold them back. Her mother pulled her into a hug. Don't be sad, my dear. It's not something you can rush. The right person will come into your life when the time is right. And until then, you focus on what matters most, your studies, your future. You don't have to worry about love right now. Elena felt comforted by her mother's words, but a part of her was still troubled. She had been focusing so much on her schoolwork, pushing love and relationships aside. But deep down, she wanted to live a life where she didn't have to hide. She wanted to be seen for who she really was, not just for the curse that she carried. She sighed and looked up at her mother. I don't want to live like this forever, hiding away from everyone. There's someone at school, though. His name is Daniel. He's just a friend. We talk sometimes, and he's really kind. But I know that I can't be more than just a friend to him. I can't let anyone get too close to me, not with this curse hanging over me. Her mother smiled softly. I'm glad you have a friend like Daniel. It's important to have people who care about you. But remember, your friendship with him doesn't have to be anything more. You need to focus on yourself, Elena. Don't let anyone pressure you into something you're not ready for. Elena nodded, but she still felt confused. But Sophia. She's always coming after me. Always trying to make me feel small. She keeps saying things about Daniel, like he's her man. I don't even want to deal with her, but she keeps making trouble because of a boy. Her mother gave a small laugh. Sophia doesn't understand you, Elena. She's always looking for attention from the wrong places. Don't let her drag you down. You are worth so much more than anything she could ever offer. Elena smiled a little. I know, Mom. But sometimes I just wish things were easier. I wish I didn't have to hide my face, that people could see the real me. Her mother looked at her lovingly. You are perfect just the way you are, Elena. You don't need anyone's approval to be happy. And when the time comes, when the right person enters your life, they will love you for who you truly are. In school, the tension between Sophia and Elena had reached its peak. Sophia was determined to have the last word, especially after Daniel's rejection and the way Elena seemed to gain respect from more students. Sophia, however, couldn't let that slide. She spotted Elena near the cafeteria, calmly reading a book and minding her business. With her usual entourage of friends behind her, Sophia marched over, ready to make a scene. Madam Face Cover, Sophia called loudly, drawing attention from everyone nearby. Graduation is in 2 weeks. Are you going to keep hiding your ugly face under that rag, or will you finally show us what you look like? Or are you scared the school will shut down when we all faint from the horror? Elena looked up slowly, calm as ever. She closed her book and stood up, meeting Sophia's glare with her own sharp gaze. Students started gathering around them, sensing another round of drama. Elena smirked lightly and folded her arms. Thank God graduation is finally here. After all these years, Sophia, you're finally leaving this school. I was starting to think you were planning to live here forever. The students around burst into laughter. Sophia's face turned red, but Elena wasn't done yet. Let me guess, Elena continued. You must have slept with most of the lecturers to get to this point. It's the only explanation for why someone like you is finally graduating after being here since the dinosaurs walked the earth. The crowd erupted in louder laughter. Sophia's jaw dropped in shock, but before she could speak, Elena raised a finger, silencing her. And don't act like you're some rich girl, Sophia, Elena added. Everybody here knows your parents are struggling in a small village while you're here pretending to be something you're not. Sophia's friends exchanged awkward glances, some of them whispering to each other. Elena took a step closer, her voice calm but cutting. Oh, and let's not forget, Elena added. Your so-called big girl lifestyle? Everyone knows you've been sleeping with sugar daddies to fund it. You're nothing but a fake, a poor girl pretending to be rich, bullying others to hide your insecurities. Pathetic. The students couldn't hold back anymore. The laughter was uncontrollable now. Some were whispering to each other about Sophia's sugar daddy scandals, and others were recording the scene on their phones. Sophia's eyes filled with tears of rage and humiliation. You don't know what you're talking about. She screamed. You think you're better than me because of that face cover? You're nothing, Elena. Nothing. Elena shrugged. If I'm nothing, then what does that make you? A jealous, bitter little girl who can't stand to see someone else shine? Good luck with your sugar daddies, Sophia. Maybe one of them will finally help you buy a clue. Sophia couldn't take it anymore. She turned and stormed off, her face burning with shame. Her friends hesitated, some of them sneaking away to avoid being associated with her. As Sophia disappeared, the students around Elena clapped and cheered. Finally, someone put her in place, one of them said. That was legendary, Elena, another added. Elena simply picked up her book, gave them a small nod, and walked away with her head held high. Sophia had been desperate to make Daniel notice her. She tried everything, wearing her tightest dresses, walking past him with exaggerated confidence, and even pretending to need his help with schoolwork. But Daniel wasn't interested. One day, she cornered him near the school cafeteria. "Daniel," Sophia said with a fake sweet smile, flipping her hair. "I don't know why you're wasting your time with that face-covering girl. You and I could be the hottest couple in school. Don't you see it?" Daniel sighed, clearly annoyed. "Sophia, can you stop embarrassing yourself? I don't like you. I never will. You're always chasing after boys, causing drama, and thinking you're better than everyone. It's pathetic." The words hit Sophia like a slap. She stood there frozen, trying to process the insult. Students nearby who had overheard everything began whispering to themselves. Sophia, for once, had no comeback. She turned and stormed off, her face red with humiliation. Later that evening, Daniel decided to tell Elena how he truly felt. He found her sitting under a tree, her favorite spot on campus. "Elena," he said softly, sitting next to her. She turned to him, confused. "What's wrong?" she asked. "Nothing's wrong," Daniel replied. "I just need to tell you something. I've been thinking about it for a while now." Elena raised an eyebrow. "What is it?" "I love you," Daniel said, his voice steady but full of emotion. "I don't care about your face cover or what people say about you. You're kind, smart, and different from anyone I've ever met. I don't need to see your face to know how special you are." Elena's heart raced. "Daniel, you say that now, but what if I'm ugly? What if what's under this cover is something you can't handle?" "I don't care," Daniel said firmly. "You're beautiful to me, no matter what." He invited her to his place that weekend to spend time together. Elena hesitated but eventually agreed. When she got to Daniel's apartment, they talked for hours. They laughed, shared stories, and grew even closer. As the evening went on, Daniel leaned in and kissed her gently. For the first time, Elena felt truly cared for. She let herself relax, but in the moment, Daniel accidentally brushed her face cover, and it slipped off. Elena gasped and pulled away, covering her face with her hands. "Not again," she cried, tears streaming down her face. "I can't let this happen again. You're going to die, Daniel." But Daniel didn't move. He didn't flinch. He simply looked at her, his eyes full of kindness. "Elena, nothing's happening to me. I'm fine." Elena slowly lowered her hands, her tears still falling. She stared at Daniel in disbelief. "But everyone who sees my face, not me," Daniel said with a smile. "I told you I love you. Maybe. And I think that's why the curse doesn't affect me." Elena couldn't believe it. She hugged Daniel tightly, still crying, but this time her tears were tears of joy. When she got home that night, she told her mother everything. "Mom," she said, her voice trembling. "Daniel saw my face, and nothing happened to him. He's alive. He loves me, and I think the curse is broken." Her mother's eyes filled with tears of happiness. She hugged Elena tightly. "My darling, I've waited for this day. You found someone who truly loves you, and now you're free from the curse. God has answered our prayers." The next day, Elena went to school with a new sense of confidence. For the first time in her life, she decided to walk in without her face covered. As she stepped onto the school grounds, heads turned. "Is that Elena?" someone whispered. "She's beautiful," another said, staring in shock. All the students were astonished. Sophia, who had just walked out of the cafeteria, froze when she saw Elena. Her mouth dropped open. "This is what you've been hiding?" Sophia said, her voice dripping with disbelief. Elena smiled calmly. "Yes, this is me. Surprised? Maybe next time you'll think twice before judging someone you don't know." The students clapped and cheered for Elena. For the first time, she felt free from the curse, free from judgment, and free to live her life as her true self. What lessons did you take away from this dramatic tale? Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the story, give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Thanks for reading, and stay blessed.